So I'd like to record and document some of my experience here. I think I would have done some things differently, but I think it'll help out to point some of this out to a few people out there that are wondering how to trade the prop firms and what things to be aware of, how the rules work, and an easy strategy. I like mine super simple. I'm serious. The way you see it, it's just super simple. That way, just trade the strategy when it shows up, and I'll show you what I did, how the trades I went through past the eval, and then had the payout. And yeah, I'll get to that, and then some of the things I'd probably do differently in the future. So the first thing I wanted to show is this right here. So on March 6th, it was a nice little birthday present because my birthday was on the 7th. I went ahead and bought the 50K account, the eval account, and then I passed, and then of course you pay the registration fee. So I'll go ahead and sign up for that, and then let's show you the charts, what some of the trades were that I took and how that turned out. So here's some of the trades that well, the only trades I took. My strategy is really simple. I look for 5 candles in a row. They don't have to be the same color, doesn't matter. But the high of each candle has to be lower than the previous high. The low of each candle has to be lower than the previous low. That's it. Or vice versa. The high has to be higher than the previous high, and the low has to be lower than the low has to be higher than the previous low. 5 in a row. That's it. So I usually get up about 6:30 my time, 6 o'clock my time, and I'm at the charts a little after 6:30 Mountain Standard Time. So I just like to pre-market. I like when I'm done and do what I want for the rest of the day. So here's the first one I took. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row. The take profit, I just look to the left and find the nearest wick that's down, and the one to the left is above it, the one to the right is above it. That's it. So if I were to draw this out, here's the take profit, and I like at least 1 to 1. You can see that this doesn't have, if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it doesn't have much of a risk to reward. Like you hardly win any, and you have a lot to lose. So I wait till it gets to 1 to 1. It doesn't always bounce back, by the way, but I wait until it does. So I got in about here, and just so if I look at that, now I didn't trade on Thinkorswim, by the way. I'm just doing this because that's where I have my recording software that I can document this. I trade on NinjaTrader, and I got in about here. And if you look at this blue box right here, you can see the very next to the last line, it shows how many points it is away. So down to here is about 22 points. It was a nice trade. And I had 20 contracts on that, so that's $480. And then this one over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the take profit would have been right here. Whoops. Wrong tool. Right here is where the take profit. Now again, it wasn't 1 to 1, so I waited until it bounced back. It doesn't always bounce back, which is fine. If it doesn't, I don't take it. So I got in about right here at this candle because it was about 50% up from here. So I went ahead and took that. If I go ahead and measure it, got in. There we go. I got 20 points out of that. It says 23, but I must have got in a little bit late or something like that. All right, or a little bit early, maybe. So 23 points. I had 20 contracts on that, so that was 800. And then I had this one here. Now this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row. I didn't know because it had passed this range right here, this area here. So I had to look left. I didn't know where the take profit would be. So when it was starting to go down real fast, I was like, oh shoot, I better hurry up and check this out. So I scrolled back until like the 4th or the 5th. What is this? Yeah, until a couple days earlier, or a day earlier actually. And just right here, this pivot point right here, drew that line out. And then it wasn't a good risk to reward. So I waited until it bounced, started coming back up, and when it was about 50%, so like right in here is when I got in, and got about 29 points on that. From here all the way down to this here, I didn't quite get 31. I got 29, and I had 30 contracts on that. So that was about $1,700, something like that. And then those were the trades that I was done because I passed the prop firm account. And then after I passed the prop firm account, I got these emails, 3:38 my time after the halt, because the halt's, every day between 5 and 6 p.m. Eastern time. And then I went ahead and paid. That's what this is right here. And then I went ahead and I guess it didn't take long. It activated my performance account. And then the next day I was able to trade. And if I show you that, here's the payout. It took 8 trading days, and then I put in my request. And then after the 8 days, I got paid the next day. It deposited in my account. But I'll run through those trades as well. Exact same strategy, exact same setup for, and I lost. I didn't win every single trade then. Yeah, I'll show you some of those trades now. Here are some of my live trades. Whoops, I'm actually getting ahead of myself, aren't I? That's the 10th. Where's the 7th? On the 7th? Sorry. Yeah, pre-market everywhere. I got lucky this day because I won 3 in a row, right? And they were pretty big trades. So here's one. I won 30 points. Nice, and I had 10 contracts, 10 micros. And then here's another one, 20 points. And then here's another one, 20 points. And again, the strategy is the same, but it looks kind of weird. So here was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles in a row. All the highs are higher than each other. And then all the lows are higher than each other for 5 in a row. And then I wait until I actually think the take profit was somewhere up here, if I remember correctly. It didn't go the whole way, but if it goes like 25-ish points or 21, 22, 23 points, I quickly move my stop up to grab at least 20 points. So I would have lost, but I'll lock in at 20. Yeah, if it keeps going up, great. If it doesn't, great. And you'll see another one where I locked in too slow and I didn't quite get 20 points on a different day. Because it happens sometimes. The price action moves real fast, but we'll get to that. And then here's another one where I don't know. I think this was actually the take profit, but again, it went up to 20, 21, 22 points, and I'm like, wow, I'm not giving 20 points back. And yeah, knocked me out at 20. It would have gone the whole way to my take profit, but oh well. I mean, that's just how it works. So I was done for the day. That was a great day. That was like 1,400 on the day. That was great. So I was done for that day. And it doesn't always win. I mean, like so far you're like, oh yeah, it has great win rate. It doesn't. It's just it's probable. Because I won my evaluation real quick, and then I won that one real quick on that day. But this one I lost quite a few. So here's this one. Okay, so first trade of the day, I was taking a call. Wait, why was I taking a call? Okay, here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles all in a row, higher lows on the wicks, higher highs on the wicks. And then I thought it'd go up to here, right? But as you can see, it didn't go up to here. It actually stopped me out right here. Started to go up and then got me. Okay, so that's a loss. And then this one here, I took a put. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is some other line. I think it was down here somewhere because this is halfway. I waited till it went halfway before it comes back down, and it didn't. It took me out, stopped me out. So that's 2 losses on the day. Then this one I gotta win because here was the take profit, the new low, the new take profit. And again, I measure that because I look at the wick low, and if the one to the left is higher, the one to the immediate right is higher, then that's my take profit, or 20 cents, whichever happens first. So here we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row, and I actually think I cheated. That actually wasn't halfway, so I cheated. I'm imperfect, so I guess we all are, right? But that's why I got out here and I didn't keep riding it because that's my take profit. So there, I was down about 7-ish points, somewhere around there. Hopefully that math is right. Never do math in front of people, shows what you don't know. That's why I got my calculator out for the other day's profit. Okay, so here's another loss. I took a put. 1, 2, 3. No, what was I doing here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 in a row. I waited till I got about halfway. That's why this is here. And then it just kept going up 20. I don't. If the loss is like 40, 50 points, I don't do that. I don't do that. 20 points is my max loss, and hopefully it's above structure, which it probably should. I've actually never tested that, so I can't really say if that would be good or bad, because usually you want to put it behind structure, but I did 20 points. And here's a win. It was good. So up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, oops, 1, because these are the same height. It has to be a higher high to start the count. It can't be the same height. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Higher high and higher low. It can't be in the same. So that's why this arrow is here. Here's the signal to get in, and here would be the stop. So here's the halfway point. It must have been about up to here, something like that, or maybe higher, somewhere around there. Anyway, halfway point, I got in here. It started to come back, but it didn't take me out because here was my stop. and then it went up to my here, took me out. I think the take profit was up here actually, but again, it went up more than 20, 21, 22 points. I quickly moved my stop up and got stopped out at 20 points. There's that one. And did I trade anymore? Because so far I'm still down on the day. Usually I like to end positive, but it doesn't always happen that way. Okay, so here had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. Waited for it to come down about halfway. There's the stop. There's the take profit. So there's about halfway and 16.75. So now I'm actually positive, like 6-ish points, 9-ish points, somewhere around there on the day. So that was cool. And then I think is that the last trade I took that day? Yeah, it's the last trade I took. So up like 9-ish points, something like that. And then here's this trade. I mean, this was a doozy. I don't always hang on, right? Because even though the take profit was down here, and this was like way back in September, so it was like months ago. I had to go back and look and see where it was. But so I got in here because I still had more than half of the way to go, because here was my stop right above this structure, because it was less than 20. But if it's more than 20, I just put it at 20. And yeah, it went down 20 points. Actually, this is the one where it got pretty close, I think. Anyway, I think I actually got like 19, 20 out of this one. So we were up 28, 29 points on the day. So it was about 500 some points, 500 some bucks, because I had 10 micros on all of them. And that was a good day. That was a good day. And they're all the same. I mean, they're all the same. I wait for 5 candles. I don't get in unless it's halfway to I have at least 1-to-1 risk to reward. All right, let's go ahead and look at March 11th. Okay, this was a wonderful day, March 11th, because let me just tell you, it feels great when you get up in the morning, you make more money than anybody else, and you're done before anybody else. I mean, like, seriously? But of course, when I'm trading, I have to detach myself. That was probably the hardest part when I was learning how to trade through all this, and we can get into that later in a different video or something like that. But that's what I do. I help traders who are trying to figure out, because they have a strategy. They know the strategy works, but it's like a Jekyll and Hyde thing, right? Because they can't figure out why, like, they keep blowing accounts. So I help prop firm traders specifically who want to stop blowing accounts and make money consistently. That's what we do. It's really that simple. I've been in psychology for well over 10 years. That's what I used to do, and now I help traders. I love it. I eat, drink, and sleep the psychology stuff, man. So, but anyway, if you want help, help in the comments below, or click the link below. I'll be more than willing to help anybody out who wants to help. So here was March 11th. I lost this first one because we have a bunch of higher highs on the wick lows and a bunch of higher highs on the wick highs. So I don't know how I said that. Higher lows and higher highs. That's what I meant to say. And it went above the 21 EMA, but then it pooped out. And of course my stop would be here, but I call it at 20 points. So I lost that one. This one here was good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row. I wouldn't never get in there because not enough to win. So I wait till it gets about halfway between the stop and the take profit. So about here. And it almost got me, but then it came out. And after it gets to about 20, 21, 22, 23 points, I do wait. I don't like crop it at 18 or 19 or, I got to hurry up and get out and I don't want to lose the money that I already was up. I don't do that. It's got to be at least 21, 22, 23, at least 21 or more. And then I'll make a judgment call. So it was there. It was 20, 21, 22, 23. And I quickly moved my stop up because, it stopped there last time, right? So it did end up making it right here. But as you can see, I moved my stop up and it took me out at 20. So that's how it happens. Now this one here, I got lucky because even though I broke even on these two. Here we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then this one, I was going to wait because it was too close to this take profit here. So I waited till I got about halfway, jumped in, and it didn't take me out. It just went all the way. So nice on that one. So 26 points profit on that one. That was a good day. All right, just one quick trade today, and it was quick. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the take profit would have been down here, but I'm not getting in right here. So I waited until it bounced back about halfway. Didn't quite take me out, and came down about 20 points. I already moved my stop, took me out, and then later on it did go down to that level, but I get out at 20. So that's that. Done for that day. March 13th. This was pretty easy. So I got up. I was at the chart 6:30, 8:30 a.m. every time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I was never going to take this trade since the take profit was right here. So I waited. until this thing, oh shoot, actually I made a mistake. I guess you can see I'm not perfect. I'll show you what my mistake was. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's the entry candle, but don't get in because it's too close to this. This one actually hit my take profit. I should have never gotten in. If it hits my take profit, this right here, I don't get in. I wait till the next setup. Ooh, I got lucky. I got lucky. I overlooked this one. I got lucky. So this is really a bad example because I waited till it went halfway up, but the move was already over because I already hit the take profit right here. Yeah. So you can see I'm not perfect. So in this case, I would have lost, actually, because it was over. I just got lucky. And I waited till it went halfway up, and then I got in, and then it started coming down, and it hit this take because I thought that was the fifth candle. Ooh-wee. Yeah, interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I counted right. So that went down to the take profit. I wouldn't have gotten in. I would have lost that one, then I would have had to make it up the rest of the day. I wouldn't have stopped. I would have kept trading. So I made a mistake and got lucky on that one. All right. That's that one. Okay, so March 14th. Let's see. I don't think I made a mistake on this one, but let's see. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row. There was the stop. Oh, I think I kind of sort of did. Because the take profit is here. The next one above the fifth high point. Yeah. So I should have gotten in about here. I jumped the gun. I got in about here. Got out here for 16-point win. And that was the only trade of the day. That was fast, man. That was fast. Those are kind of adrenaline spikes there. But I didn't care. It wins or loses. And that is the key, really. That's something, definitely a plug I would throw in there. Because I remember when I started, it's just whoop, and it goes up. Because these are, this is the tick chart, by the way. And if you look at this happened in a matter of, yeah, it was less than a minute. Because if you look at this rectangle right here, and you look at the minutes, it wasn't even 1 minute. Just super fast, like right after the open. You know how fast those candles go. Now, when I was newer at this, like 3 years ago, when I was newer at this, it would spike, and there was a huge adrenaline rush. It was like, yes, yes. Just made like $350 in less than a minute, right? Like, where else do you hear that other than day trading? So like $350 in less than a minute. But now, you place the trade, let it go. You don't care if it wins. So like, if my emotions spike because I won, or I have to win, or I needed to win, or I get excited because I win, yeah, that causes problems. As you know, right? If you're a prop firm trader, and those are the types of people that I work with, if you're a prop firm trader and your emotions spike because it wins, or you have a horrible day because it loses, not going to work out. You detach from it, you're right in the middle. Because when we're not detached from it, all kinds of things happen. So yes, it's very easy to get there if you know how to get there. I mean, easy as in the sense that anyone can do it. It does take time, though. It does take time. But there are ways to do it. There are ways to detach. There are ways to make sure that your payouts are consistent. And we'll get into that. Again, click the help link in the description, or type help below. And yeah, I'll help you get there, because people want payouts, okay? They want payouts. They want to escape the 9 to 5. They want this to be their job. They want to get on with the things that they're called to do in life. Okay, so that is the 14th. Let's move on to the 15th. 17th. Let's be honest. I didn't even know if I was going to get a payout. But, well, I mean, I knew I was going to get a payout, right? I just didn't know I would get it in 8 days. I didn't think it would be 2,000. I thought it might be like 1,000 or 1,500, because you know how you have to pass the buffer. If you want more than $500, you have to pass the buffer by as much as you want to take out, plus the buffer plus 100. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm not gonna lie. So today I was fighting between the emotions of like, okay, I'm gonna stick around the chart until I get the right trades, because I want to make enough to be able to pull out at least 2,000. Because with a 50K account, you can pull out 2,000 is your max withdrawal, right? And I was like, Aaron, that's not the right mentality, man. Not the right mentality, because you're getting too attached to it. So that was weighing on my mind, because I was hoping to pull out $2,000, because I had just passed the EVA, and I was like, yeah, I want another $2,000, just for the fact that I wanted to feel like I owned it. But I'm gonna be honest, that's got me in trouble more times than not. So just want to be honest, just want to be transparent with that. So here we are. We got 5 candles going up. That was on my mind, by the way. And I got it because here's the take profit right here, but I needed it to retrace, so I got 1-to-1 risk to reward. Okay, so we got that one. That was 29. That was nice. Then came down, waited for the retrace a little bit, and then got this right here. It went down farther, but it started to retrace, and I lock in at 20. So that's what happened there. Then this one started going up. No, that's not the right one. That's not it. This one started at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It didn't hit the take profit yet, so I waited for the retrace. And wait a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why did I do that? I could have gotten in like right here. I don't know why I didn't take this one, guys. I don't got an answer. I could have gotten in right here. Got 20 points before it started to retrace. I don't know why I didn't take it, but I didn't take that one. Okay. But this one I did try to take for a put. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Waited for the retrace about 50%. It didn't come back down. It just kept going back up. So I lost on that one. That's just part of the game, I guess. Okay, so now I'm like, shoot, I have this in the back of my mind, right? Like, okay, so I'm still profitable, right? So 51, 31 points profitable. So plenty, right? But then I'm like, okay, but I'm hoping to push it because I need like $1,000 to get up to like over $4,000, $5,000 so I can withdraw and still have the buffer. And I lost. I'm like, shoot, now I gotta wait for a win. And I'm hunting, right? And that's not a good idea. Not a good idea. That's what I teach people not to do, right? Now, I'm not going to pretend that I'm immune to it because that's not even possible. But it's possible to recognize it, manage it, neutralize it, and still pull out money, okay? That's what's possible. It's not possible to get rid of it. I just want to make that clear. But it is possible to stop blowing your accounts and take consistent payouts, okay, without blowing them. So a loss here. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, right there. And then because the take profit was, shoot, where was the take profit? It must have been all the way to the left or something like that. Yeah, it must have been beneath all this stuff. Oh, okay, dang, way down here. Nice. Way down here. Okay, I just hold my crosshairs there. It didn't quite take it, okay. So it must have started to go down, retrace, and I got out, locked in for 20. That's what that was. Okay. And then, so I won that one. Then I lost that one. As you can see, it was going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. I was trying to get ahead. Again, not the best mentality to have. Okay, so this one I lost because it went up, waited for the retrace, but it didn't get 20 points, so I never locked in, and it took me out for 20 points. 20 points loss. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got in there, got in. Then we got this one. Not even sure where I should have gotten in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I forgot to put a circle here, guys. Let's do this live so you can see how it would have worked out, huh? Okay, so here's how I would have done it. If I'm doing this live, it would have been here, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the 5th candle. Here's the take profit, because if I look to the left, the next pivot low is right here. Okay, and was that 20 points? Started to retrace, so I got out. Is that what that was? Let's see. Is that 20 points? Yeah, that's why I got out. So if you look at this, it's 20 points. That's why. Win 20 points. Okay, so I would have gotten in here. It was not halfway. It was pretty close to halfway between here and here. But it was pretty close, so I would have gotten in, and then just barely. And then, so I was bouncing around. I was still profitable, but I was hoping to get over 1,000 on the day to go way beyond that buffer, right? Okay, and here was the final one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would have waited for the retrace, because the take profit, if I look left, is right here. Yeah, I would have never taken that one. So I waited for the retrace, got in there, went all the way up to the take profit. Bam, hit it just perfectly. 23 points. Finally, I got what I was looking for. But that, again, I want to be honest, because that's not the best mentality to have. Looking and hunting and hunting and hunting and hunting. It's like, okay, because I got to be okay letting it go. And if I'm hunting, waiting, I really want that payout, I really want that payout, I really want to hit that number. Gotta let it go. So I would have done that different. I'm just going to be honest. I would have let it go and been like, okay, so I'm not going to get the payout because I'm not going to blow my account anymore. I'm just going to wait. Because my goodness, man, like I've started linking accounts together. And I've started having a trade copier. We'll get into that later, how you can link accounts together, how you can start to pull money consistently and have consistent payouts without blowing up your accounts. It's not worth it. It's not worth it to just blow up your account. Just wait. Just wait if it doesn't hit it. Because like, dude, I could have extracted like 1,000 or 1,500 or something like that. But now I have several accounts linked together. You multiply like 25 times 1,500. I mean, you're making some serious dough. You know what I mean? So it wasn't worth it trying to push it to 2,000. But, you know, back then I was newer. And that was today and then one more day. Okay, so my frame of mind was, I was at 5,260. Shoot, I think that's what it was. And 5,260. And so 3,000 for the buffer. If I go ahead and write that down, 3,000 for the buffer, plus 100, because you have to have 100 more than the buffer, and then I wanted to withdraw 2,000, and I was at 5,260. So what I needed to do, I needed 100 more, was my thought, I think, at the time. And so I was like, okay, tomorrow I can make $100, no problem. So that's what I was going to try to do. Again, I'm just telling you, I was young, I was naive. Wasn't the right frame of mind. I promise it's not the right frame of mind, because I was like, yes, I want to get a 2,000 payout. I want to get the max payout. I want to get the max payout. That was dumb. Just take the payout, like what the market gives, right? You guys already know this. I think the problem most people have that I work with, it's not that they don't know this, okay? They know what they should do. They have a strategy. But how do they get the consistent payouts and stop doing what they don't want to be doing? How do they stop the Jekyll and Hyde thing? But this was my frame of mind at the time. It was like, okay, I got to make 100 more. I got to make 100 more, because I got to have over 100 more than the buffer after I withdraw 2,000. So I have to get 5,300. Then, 90% of whatever will give me 2,000 withdrawal. So wrong frame of mind. I'm just going to be honest. But that is what I did. Okay, let's look at tomorrow's trade, and I'll show you exactly what I did. Okay, so I just gave this whole spiel about my mindset on the next day and how I needed to make $100 more, because I forgot, because I forgot to label it. But when I started scrolling, I was like, hey, I didn't even trade on the next day because it was right here. I forgot to label it. So sorry. I took a break on the 17th, and I came back, and it wasn't 20 cents. So, but I know it was a win. So let's see how much this guy was. If I zoom in here. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take profit was here. It was less than 1-to-1 risk to reward, so I waited for the retrace, so it could be at least 1-to-1. And if I get this measuring tool out, it's actually a trend line that I use to measure. And I go from about here to here. I think it was like 16. What was it? No, it wasn't 18. I think it was like 16. So it says 18.5 to the end, so I must have gotten in earlier than this or later when it started to take off. I don't remember. And I didn't write it all the way to the top. It was probably about to here. So the win, 16. So that was the last trade, and I was done. Again, I just want to be clear that I don't recommend this. Like, okay, I'm going to trade again. I'm going to trade again. I'm going to trade again. Because you guys know how it is. When you trade again, and these are the things I wanted to tell you up front that I would have changed. I would do differently, because I don't condone it. I don't do it anymore. Let's be honest. I do it. I don't do it as often, because you're never going to get rid of all of the emotions. You're never going to get rid of all the temptations. That's not possible. But you learn to deal with them, you learn to manage them, you learn to cope with them, you learn to harmonize with them, neutralize them. That's what we learn. Because if you want to stop blowing these accounts and if you want consistent payouts, you got to be more consistent than what I just showed you here. But this is how I got it, and then I started linking accounts together, and I got better and better at it. So if you want to know how to do it, type in help in the comments below, subscribe. I'll be more than willing to help you, because yes, you can change the psychology so you're getting those consistent payouts. I can't legally say that you are going to get these consistent payouts, because it's not legal. But I can guarantee the psychology. I can do that. That's my forte, and I can do that. And that, my friends, if you take care of the psychology and you have a probability that works, the rest takes care of itself. So then that's what we do. We stop blowing accounts, and we start getting consistent payouts. I would love to help anybody who needs the help. I hope this helps somebody. And it's a very easy strategy at that. Just look for 5 candles that keep going in the same direction. That's simple. All right, I hope this helps somebody, and we'll see you in the next video.